Hey everybody, it's James from James's N-Scale Train Layout Project. Welcome, thanks for showing up. I have had a lovely summer building my very first 4x8 N-Scale Train layout, and it's been a few weeks and putting finishing touches on it. And I had an idea that now I'm going to build a second layout. It's going to be 3x8, and I'm using a lot of the materials that I have left over from my first layout. And I'm also going to be exploring some things that I wasn't able to accomplish on that first layout. So I'm going to go ahead and just create a whole new video series, which I'm calling my performance track. This is a track that is less about landscape and more about just really being able to get 100% of the performance of these wonderful mechanical and computer marvels that are N-scale trains. So let's go ahead and take a look at my proposed plans for my new layout. I'm going to be showing it to you how I build it from the ground up, just like I did my first layout. I'm really excited. So let's take a look at what I got in mind, and hopefully you'll enjoy it and stick around for the ride. Okay, so here is the proposed layout. It's going to be 96 inches long, which is 8 feet long, by 36 inches wide, which is 3 feet. So it's an 8-foot by 3-foot layout. It is built with Kato Unitrack. It's all about the track on this layout. There's very little space for landscaping and other things. I'm just not going to be focusing on that kind of stuff. I really want this track to stay super clean. I want it to be, I want my trains to have the ability to run really fast on them. I want to be able to do a lot of switching and other types of things. So let's go ahead and take a look at it from outwards going inwards. Let's start at the lower right-hand corner. You've got a loading track. At the very, very bottom right of the screen, it goes into the outermost circle. You see that I have 3 crossovers that allow me to be able to move from the outermost lanes into the innermost 4 lanes. It has a reversing loop to the right there. It's got 7 turnouts, 5 right turnouts and 2 left turnouts. It's got super elevated curves on the 2 outer tracks. This is almost 1,500 inches of track, which equals about 125 feet. Imagine the trains can run, well, just all day long on this thing. Each of the loops on the outer 4 are they can be continuous. I can just keep the trains running on that loop all day long, or I can have them move from inner to outer. Then you have 38 feeders, including 2 more feeders that are connected to a reverse switch for the reversing loop. And you know, this is it. This is what I want to build, and I'm going to be doing it. Hey everybody. Okay, so I love these moments where a layout's just beginning and it's literally just starts with a piece of plywood. It would have been super if I could have just gotten a piece of 8x3 plywood, but I couldn't fit that in my car, so I needed to get it in 2 pieces. And just to show you, I'm just using one of those plastic tables. I got it from Walmart, the 8-foot by 30-inch tables, and set it up. This worked really well for my last layout, so I'm hoping it'll work for this one. So I'm going to go ahead and use my Gorilla heavy-duty glue here to adhere the plywood to the table in the first step of the process. The next step is I went ahead and I put in 8 1/4-inch carriage bolts, okay, and then just secured them under the table like that with wing nuts, and making sure everything is still pretty level, okay. And I had to use these casters These are the casters that I bought just at Walmart, and adjusted the legs manually because there's not any way of doing it from the table I'm using. So now we are ready to, we have our nice plywood base and it's pretty level, and now we're ready to put on the styrofoam. So after we attach the piece of plywood, which we just did, now we're going to attach the foamular squares, and I've get them in 2x2 panels because again it's easy for me to get in my car this way. You could just as easily get these in full 4x8 sheets and cut them, and that would be better and great if you can do it. I just can't. So I get it in the 2x2 squares like this, and I'm going to adhere it with this Gorilla All-Purpose Ultimate, the heavy-duty one. It works real great, and it has 0 seconds, so it grabs really fast, which I like and I work well with. Whoops, sorry about that. So that's the stuff I'm using to adhere the pieces to this very simple basic bench work. It is secure for me and I'm fine doing it. Like, you've got to decide if this is the way you want to go. I'm not taking any liability for it. I'm just I'm just letting you know what I'm doing with my layout personally. I'm sure there are lots of better ways of creating inexpensive bench work, but this is what has been working for me, and it's just a documentation for my personal use. So I'm not, advocating or educating anybody on how to construct their bench work. I am just showing you what I did for my project in hopes that you can be entertained by it. So here we go. I went ahead and I glued my 2x2 foamular panels to my table. You'll notice that it overhangs a few inches because I'm going to cut these in interesting curves as I get inspired to do so. So this is what it looks like. It's you go through a lot of this glue, so no matter how many of these tubes you buy, you need 2 more. But it came together pretty well. I was able to do it with very limited skills. Thanks for watching. This is James, and it's James's N-Scale Train Layout Project, the Performance Track Edition. Have a great day.